to leave it like that, actually, because I think I can see some nice river in the background.
I can show you my new toy before we start then. This would be
Go
great.
on, then. Morning, guys. Course 2. Mindful mornings. I'm really excited. I can see. Oh, no. Oh, is that my Craig Quat board? Oh, nice.
That's Rhiann's new toy.
When did you get it, Rhiann?
The last week sometime.
Oh, mate. But you've been just playing on it, right? Does it open up new possibilities? Do you just see things in a different way?
I need a refresher. I'm going to do a refresher course.
Okay.
But yeah, Shuggy's been enjoying it.
I'll bet.
Oh yeah, you got Shuggy to play with. So this is a pop-up tent with some Velcro on it. So you lash it on the back of a chair and it makes you a green screen.
I love it. Is that what? Hold it up again, Pete. No, for a second I thought that was Birmingham with the rotunda, but then I was like, no, that bridge is definitely not Birmingham.
No, it's Dublin.
Okay. Okay, right, let's get going. Let's say that again.
It was me coughing. It was Dublin. I was working with them. Okay.
Looks like lovely weather there as well on that picture. Morning, guys. Welcome to course 2. Mindful mornings. Let's just take a moment before I do any talking to just check into ourselves. Let's check into ourselves this morning. Throwing this ball back and forth. I want you to bounce it off your heart, bounce it off, and bounce it back. So we're just throwing the ball from one side to the other and bouncing it back and forth. And before we do anything, let's find some gratitude. Let's find some gratitude this morning. It's been a week and a bit since we ended the last course. I've been doing a lot of thinking about how we can make this better, how we can make it. But we'll dig into that as we go. Let's just find some gratitude. So what you're going to do is let's just bounce that ball off your heart. So I'm going to stand this way, throwing it and catching it in the other hand. And let's just take a deep breath in to start with. Let's ground ourselves in our space and take a deep breath in. As you do that, just feel that sensation that's created from that hitting of the chest. And let's just bring our attention to our heartbeat that we're not really kind of aware of all the time. It's always something that's happening, but let's just imagine that is our heart beating out of our chest. And breathe out if you've not already. Let's find some consistency in that breath. On the next breath in, what I want you to do is I want you to think back to the last week, and I want you to think back to a moment last week that you were grateful for. And let's just catch those thoughts. Maybe think about that moment. Think about what happened in that moment, what happened before, what happened after, what led up to that grateful moment. And let's try and find some consistency in this throw. So let's try and make it a heartbeat. So you might be finding it if you're first starting this out, throwing and catching that ball, it might be a bit trickier to get that heartbeat consistent. But maybe let's listen to it hit your chest, but also hit your hands. Ba-bum, ba-bum, ba-bum. And then let's just come back to throwing that ball back and forth. And before we do anything, let's go through a mindful sight swap this morning. So really slow 1 to 5 sight swap. Okay, so let's start still. And I'm going to give you a few things to think about here. So we're going to start off with 1. If you're just joining us for the first time, this is 1. Okay, just throwing over that ball. So I want you to look around your space. And I want you to think about one thing in that space. One thing that jumps out at you. For whatever reason, it jumps out at you. So this is 1. Think about one thing that you're going to do today to make today great. So this is number 2. Have a silent ball in a silent hand. What I want you to do is I want you to stand on one leg, squeeze your other hand tight, squeeze the ball, and think about 2 things that happened in the past week that made you smile. Again, number 2 is just a silent ball in a silent hand. 2 things this week that made you smile. Okay, continue standing on that one leg. Let's go to a 3. I want you to feel this in this leg. I want to add a little bit of physicality now to this course. Okay, so we're starting to transition our body back into full-time working, let's say, full-time moving. 3, one ball to one hand. Continue standing on that leg if you can. And think about 3 things that you are feeling in that leg right now. 3 things. This type of throw, if you're joining in, is number 3, side swap 3. And let's switch to the other leg. Let's go to 4, okay? And just catch 4 thoughts that come to your mind. You can switch hands over if you want to. Catch 4 things that come to your head. Just register. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then finally, let's jump to 5. Okay. Our new goal date, guys, our new stake in the ground is Friday, the 4th of June. So this course is aiming towards that date. So every morning, every weekday morning that you can make it, we're working towards that date. Let's keep going with number 5 for now. Let's keep going. Let's maybe switch our body up as we go, as I talk a little bit. Just be aware of the movement of this ball, the movement of your body. So what we're going to work towards is 2 things really towards that date. A goal and a habit. Okay? Let's come back to 1. And let's first of all think about, I'm going to dig into a habit in a little bit more in a goal, and we're going to find that for the next 66 days. And I'll tell you why we're working on that 66 days. What we're going to do is we're going to reflect on the difference now between mindfulness and being present. So the difference really between being present and being mindful. And I say reflect, meaning on what really they mean to us. So what I want you to do is I want you to grab a second ball. Find yourself a second ball, and let's start with a 4 and a 4. And before I say my bit, what I want you to think about is let's define one ball as a mindful ball. Okay, and I want you to think about what mindfulness is for you. This is the underpinning of this whole next 66 days. And let's jump over to being present. They're really similar things. We touched on this a little bit in the last course. Mindful, being present. Just take a moment to think about what you think or what you feel the difference is. So if you're new to juggling, let's just keep going with the 4 and the 4. If you're a juggler, as you guys are in the room, let's add as much as we can to this. So 4 4, 3 3, 3 1, 3 4, 3, and keep going. Just move through a journey of being present. Actively engaged in what is going on right now. Without about any thought about why. Actively in that state of being a child. Being completely absorbed in what's going on in your hands and what I'm talking about or what I'm saying. So mindful now. Let's switch that. Let's transition that, whether you're doing a 4-4, whether whatever you're doing, into a state of mindfulness. So it's the same thing, but with an awareness and acknowledgement of your thoughts, your feelings, the sensations in your body, what's going on around you without judgment. So for the next minute, let's see if we can flick between those two states, being completely absorbed, which might not be possible now that I'll give you a task to do. But let's see what happens. And then flicking to a state of mindfulness, acknowledging what's going on in your head, your reactions to what I'm saying, how you feel about that, the sensations in your body. And what we're going to do for those that are working on a 4-4, we're going to now switch that to a 3-3. So we're going to throw, catch. Just work on that. If you're working with 2 balls, what we're going to do is we're going to, in a way in which makes your practice flowy and consistent, you're going to grab a 3rd ball, and that might be through movement. It might be through something. And you are going to work with 3 now, okay? So today is just about jumping right back into that realm of juggling. I'm not going to give you too many things to do. So for now, if you're working with 2 balls, 3-3. If you're working with 3, just have a venture and see where your mind takes you. And what we're going to do is we're going to think about a habit, first of all. We're going to think about a habit that it might be the same one as last time, but that we want to bring into our life. So I did a little bit of research. Me and Rianne spoke a little bit after the last course about why 66 days. So I did a little bit of research into this, and there was a study that happened. And it was part of the social. Where did it get published? The European Journal of Social Psychology, and it took between 18 and 254 days to actually get a habit. Okay, so that was quite a long span of time, but actually it was 66 days on average that an auto behavior was taken on by ourselves. So we're working off that theory, 66 days. And what I want to do is I want to think about habit. Okay, so let's do this as we just reflect for the next minute. Okay, wherever we're going with our juggling, whatever patterns we're doing, pulling it down to a 3-3 here if we're just starting out. If you can't yet juggle and think, do a 3-3 or let them drop and just have a think. What habit do you want to bring into your life? It's your next task for the next minute. Think about what you might need to do each day, each moment you think about this to help you. And what I want you to do is if you've got 3 balls, I want you to just drop 1 ball on the floor, recognize it as something negative dropping this morning. And what I want you to move towards is a 3-1. And we're going to start to build a bit of a visualization this week. So if you were here last time, which in Zoom room you guys were, if you're joining in live, we've got 10.5 weeks over the next 66 days. Okay, and each week is going to have a theme. And we're going to dig into the themes that we worked with last time. I've reordered them to run a little bit more, well, in a different way, a structured way. And the theme of this week is dreams, goals, and habits. Okay, so this week we're going to dig into each of those things. What I want you to do as we go with the 3-1 here, I want you to imagine that this is a roof of your space. Okay, so 3-1. This is the roof of the space that you are in right now. So look at the ceiling, look at where you are. We're going to start building this visualization from this moment right now, and we're going to create a world of things that we're going to think about and a world we can step into, if you like. And it all starts right here, right now, in the space that you're in. And this 3-1 this week is your roof. And let's move to a 4-1. 4-1. So notice how I do this. I'm not going to 4-1-1. I've got a 4 and a 1. I catch them in both hands. I do in a 4 and a 1. A 4 and a 1. I switch side. I catch 2 in one hand. 4 and a 1. 4-1. 4-1. And this is our window. This is our window that next week we're going to venture outside of. Okay. This whole theming around this whole course is really transitioning back into life as we knew before, in which we didn't really have to think too much about where we were going, or we could just go and do it. Transitioning back into the circus spaces, transitioning back into the training we're doing. So this is that window. And then let's just jump to a 3-3. This is us. This is our energy right now. This is our energy at the start of the course. This is the energy at the start of our day. This is the energy on Monday, the 29th of March, 2021. Check in with yourself in your space under that roof. Find that window. Look out of that window for a second and check in with how you feel right now. What I want you to do is we're just going to reflect back on that habit. Okay. If you've not got that habit in your head, maybe have a think today before you come back next time what that habit is for you. We're going to dig into dreams, maybe a bit of reflection on that, and a goal for the course. I'll talk a little bit about the difference between the two and what I mean by that tomorrow. So what I want to do is I want to take both balls. What we're going to do is we're going to hold them out really as far as we can, and we're just going to draw a circle around us. So we're going to come in front of us and we're going to draw a circle all the way around. We're going to take our arms behind us and just touch those balls. Okay, let's bring them up and down. And let's just imagine we are creating a bit of a light field around us for our day. Okay, in whatever way we want, just draw those circles. Okay, and what we're going to do is we are going to throw the right ball up that way and the left ball up that way with straight arms, and we're going to see if we can catch both of them to finish off. 3, 2, 1. Totally bent my arms, but it worked. Did you get it? Did you get it, Pete? Well done. Good job, guys. Thank you for coming back. I'm really excited for this next 66 days. And have a beautiful rest of your day, and I shall see you tomorrow.
Thanks, Joe.
No worries. See you later, guys.
See you, Joe.
Bye. Cheers for joining in live, guys. Please come back tomorrow. This next 66 days is going to be something that's going to help us, or help you, hopefully, get back into the swing of life, especially if you do circus as well. Whether you do aerial, whether you do, we just use juggling really as a metaphor to kind of think about new things, think about our mind, think about our body. The difference between this course and the last course is I want to add a little bit more physicalness into this one, to kind of be kind to our fingers, because I know as aerialists we're gonna struggle when we get back in there, and probably our hands are going to give up way before our body does. So anyway, this is just about being kind to ourselves. So come back tomorrow. You can join Zoom, which is much better. So if you go to spaceplans.com, you can join up there. There's a mindful calendar and there's some groups to be part of as well. Come to Zoom, which you can see faces as well, or you can join in here live. Anyway, I shall see you back here